All right. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode, another Wednesday. Didn't this week just fly by? I mean, what is going on? October always goes super fast. Or is it just me? I don't know. Either way, hello and welcome. Welcome to another episode of Narcissistic. I am your host, Dr. Yaya Marie, and thank you so much again for joining me. Thank you, everyone, that's listening on iHeartRadio and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're on YouTube, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Don't just come search. Hit the like button. It's free. Come like the content, okay? Listen, we have such a great show for you this evening. Listen, call your friends, share this content, share it everywhere. The pages, the groups, the other content creators, share this message. We all need to be on one accord. There is power in unity. There's power in unity. We need to be on one accord. I know that I had a show about that before. Being on one accord. It is not just, us as believers that need to be on one accord, but the kingdom of darkness, they know this principle. And that is why, they always gather. Some of them fast longer than we as believers. So we have to be on one accord with this type of content to push it out. There is no animosity toward anyone. We all want to see each other win. We're not gatekeepers. We're not any of that. We want to see each other win and be set free. There's so many of us suffering from narcissistic abuse that we don't, at least not on this side of the channels, we don't have any time for anything extra, any extraness. We want to see each other healed and set free. We want to see everyone win over here. So if you can take time out to like the channel and subscribe and hit that bell button so you can be alerted when I do put out new content. Today, we are talking about the deception into the discard, as well as the deception after the discard. And what we are doing today, what I aim to do for everyone, is to expose the heart of a narcissist. All right. So today's show is titled Deceived into the Discard, Exposing the Heart of a Narcissist. Expose the heart. Do you know that, the Bible in Jeremiah states that the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked? Who can know it? Who can know it? Who can know your heart? See, the thing about narcissism is, these people masquerade themselves as angels of light. Angels of light, but their heart is deceitful. Who can know it? Meaning only the Most High can know the inner man, the soul man state, as I like to call it, your inner being. So they can say that, hey, I love you, but deep down, they're shooting 1,000 darts at you while you're sleeping. So they can say, I love you, but soon as you close the door, they're on their phone or, on Facebook looking for new supply. The heart is desperately wicked. Who can know it? Now, people like us, we don't have that wicked heart. And for reference, if you go on my YouTube and look up a video titled Cain and Abel, where I break down where did this come from, where the origins of how this narcissistic atmosphere or situation or concept, one of the very first concepts of narcissism is found in the book of Genesis. I mean, down to a discard, down to the root of the jealousy, where I talk about Cain and Abel. Who would have known what was in Cain's heart? Only the Most High did. But he gave Cain a chance to do right. So we have free will. The narcissist has free will. And I just see a lot of these channels where it's being portrayed as if the narcissist is a victim. So let's say the narcissist had a bad upbringing, and you know there's a victim of some type of childhood element to the way that they're shaped or formed and their personality. Yes, we understand that. We have compassion on things like that, and we pray for those type of people, right? But at the same time, guess what? We all have free will. We all are able to make our own choices. Even when you are, or if a person is demonically oppressed, they still have free will. So a narcissist doesn't get a pass because they are under some type of demonic influence. No, no, no. We're not going to use that as an excuse for the narcissist. And you're not going to use that as an excuse to stay with the narcissist. Okay. So I just want to make sure, I want to make that very clear that in no way, shape, or form are we giving the narcissist any type of excuse for their bad behavior. Right? We're all adults. They all know right from wrong. Even if they were a child, they know right from wrong. They have a moral compass. Now, is that moral compass compromised? Is that demonically influenced? Yes. But guess what? They still have, what is it called? Free will, meaning they have the choice right from wrong. Okay. Now, I just wanted to get that out the way because, you know, some people are, I'm seeing this a lot lately, like, oh, my narcissist says this, but, you know, they're making excuses for this behavior. Oh, no, we're not putting out all of this information so you can stay and be, you know, have this an excuse for the narcissist poor behavior. That's not what we're doing, at least not over here. Okay. So all of this rhetoric about the narcissist, you know, somehow I've even heard of them being delivered from narcissism. But then listen, if a narcissist says, okay, I'm coming back in, and they know that you've been looking at this type of information, right? And they say to you, well, I've been delivered, when they start hoovering you again. And let's say you do take them back. Guess what happens? The same cycle. So what were they delivered from? Or are they just telling you something that they know you want to hear? Right? Hey, you got to think about it, because these people, they're getting smarter, especially with this internet influx of people. We're having the self-diagnosed narcissists making channels. Hey, listen, don't give these people any more fuel than they really need. All right. So, well, that's all I'm going to say about that. Let's get into it. All right. Now, we already know that narcissism is not just a toxic person, right? This is a real disorder according to the DSM 5. So this isn't just something where a group of people said, a group of social media influencers said, hey, you know what? Let's just talk about this. This is not it. Okay. So this is not just a buzzword or a hot topic. In fact, they all have the same traits, and that is how they are identified. So this cycle includes, you know, we have the love bomb, where, you know, you're just meeting somebody and they are showering you with so much love. You have never felt anything like this before. And this is new to you. And a lot of them, they may know that it is new to you, because guess what? Let's take some accountability here. In the beginning, you may have actually shared too much. You may have said, oh, well, I've never been through this. I never had someone do this for me. All of my exes are, you know, they abuse me. You might have told them too much in the beginning. So now they know just what to do or say to get you to be impressed. Everybody understand that? So also I wanted to make sure that that you know that this conversation that we're having now, it is actually being pre-recorded. I'm on Spotify at the same time. So Type in the chat or put a 1 in the chat if you understand, if we're on the same page. Okay. Now, let's see. After that love bomb, where does it go? Now they're devaluing you as a person. They're picking away at what they once loved. So, and it's just, this part is really tricky because it's like, wait a minute, this person loved this about me. Now they're picking it apart. Now they don't want to see me smile. Now they're not calling me so much. They're not doing as much as they did before. There's many reasons for that, because this is something really manipulative, because they know once you see them sort of pulling back, it makes you want to do more. It makes you want to do more for the narcissist, because you're trying to get that first high back. Because when you're feeling that love bomb, that is a high, like a drug, like an addiction. And it's never going to be the same as that first high that you felt with that narcissist love bomb. It's not going to be the same. So they would give little breadcrumbs here and there, but it's not going to be the same. And then you get the full out discard, where they just actually throw you away. Now they're packing their bags, they're leaving. And you're just stuck there with all the bills, like, wait, what just happened? What really just happened? You don't understand it. But then something even stranger, as if this was not a roller coaster of emotion already, something even stranger happens. You actually start noticing this person is trying to come back around. This person is liking pictures on Facebook. During the discard, they deleted you from Facebook or social media, whatever you have. Then they come back around and start liking your pictures, calling from different numbers, or they may use the number that they actually call from. They'll call and hang up. And then when you call the number back, they'll say, oh, I called by accident. Oh, accident, really? Okay, yeah. And I was born yesterday. Or you may see them, all of a sudden talking to friends or family that they know that you have around. All of this is just to keep tabs on you. And what they're really doing is hoovering you, meaning they're sucking you back in like a Hoover vacuum. That is where that term Hoover comes from. So then you notice, wait a minute, you might have took that narcissist back after that Hoover. And guess what? The cycle starts again. You're getting loved bomb again. This is the difference between just a toxic person and a narcissist. A narcissist is going to keep you on a cycle. It doesn't matter how many times they've done this to people, because they do the same thing to everyone. It doesn't matter how much time in length has gone by since they discarded you like trash and wanted to come back around. I've seen a 13-year-old Hoover. Yes, 13-year. You don't even know if the person is alive after 13 years, and they're coming back as if nothing happened. What? It is bizarre. It's weird. Let's be real. It is weird. Okay, where I'm not going to, worry about being politically correct or saying something is weird or not. It's weird. Period, point blank. Now, this cycle, and by the way, this is why you have to be the one to actually leave that sewer dump of a relationship, because it doesn't get better with time. In fact, it actually gets worse. It doesn't change because, they're not with you anymore. It doesn't change because, things, they saw the light. It does not change for any of that. It doesn't change. So when you're thinking about the fact that the narcissist will not leave you alone, type in the chat, put a 1 in the chat if you have dealt with, you're long gone, forgot about the narcissist, and then all of a sudden they just pop up. Put a 1 in the chat. And you're like, wait, what? Where did this person come from? I'm not even thinking about this person. Seriously, they don't change. And it's incredible because like the nerve of someone to leave, and they do this with children too. I recently made a video about how the same treatment that they do adults, they do this with children too. So they will ghost your children or the children that you guys share together, or even stepchildren, whoever. They'll ghost these children and come back to the child as if nothing happened. And you're like, Dad, you've just been missing for the past 5 years. And 5 years is a stretch, but if you're a parent, imagine going without talking to your child for even 5 hours or 5 weeks. And then I come back like nothing happened. Come on now. Come on. Really. So the fact that that years have passed by and they will still try to wiggle their way in or just flatter you enough in hopes that you take the bait. And that's what it is. They're fishing. They're hoping someone will take the bait. But has the narcissist actually changed? Are they coming back because they've saw the light and they realize now, hey, I really made a mistake? The answer is no. A narcissist does not come back because they genuinely love you or that they miss you. If anything, they miss the supply that you gave them. So, we constantly in this field of narcissism, we constantly talk about supply being attention or material things or how you're making the narcissist feel. Okay. But the kicker is they actually get pleasure in winning you back just to do what? Discard you again. That's all. A lot of them get a sick, sadistic pleasure of reeling you back in, love bombing you just enough, just to say, hey, it's not going to work out, or just to ghost you again for another few months or years. I'm telling you, this is sick. This is really, it's bad. It's bad because we're talking about people that genuinely love. The narcissist loves what you can do. You love unconditionally. The narcissist loves with conditions. You see the flip flop here? So the real reason why the narcissist wants you back, a lot of times it's because of also revenge. They want to be the ones to do the final discard, which is it's questionable on if it's actually final because it's only final for the moment. Okay, I will say that. Because when a narcissist gets good and bored or good and drunk, guess who or there's no one to talk to. Watch that phone or that car ride past. Then you'll see what I'm talking about. They don't change. And then some of them ruminate about discarding you. So they will say, okay, well, because they have to feel like they have the upper hand. They have to be in that control, right? Especially if you're top notch. I mean, you got it going on. And narcissist doesn't mess with just anybody that just doesn't have anything for them. They're going to go for someone that can do for them, right or wrong. They're not going to go for the bottom of the barrel. They're looking for supply. Now, the bottom of the barrel is what they may fool around with because they're giving good supply at that moment. But people, if you're on my show and you're actually healing, you are the narcissist top-notch fuel supply, and you need to be becoming the one that got away, the one that is unreachable. You have to be celebrity status to these narcissists. You're too good. Okay. Now, with that being said, A narcissist will deceive you into taking them back with no intention on doing what they promised. And this is how I got the idea for the title of this show: Deceived into the Discard. Deceived into the discard. How are you deceived into the discard? How? They will actually deceive you. They will set out to find you. Let's say you disappeared, but not fully from the narcissist. You know, you're still somewhat reachable. I'll put it like that. You're somewhat reachable. So you get a message, and because you know you probably have something open on your social media, or your phone is not all the way changed, or they're calling you from a different number. Let's say, for instance, they call you from a different number or text you from a different number, and you start talking. This is why you shouldn't talk back to the snake. Ask Eve. That's a different story, though. Because once you start talking back, the snake is very conniving. The snake is very subtle, right? Remember, the snake was the most subtle beast in the field, right? Or the garden, I should say. So let's say you're answering a Hoover, and let's say you're naive about it. You don't know what you know now. Okay. And you take the narcissist back. You probably don't even take the narcissist back. You just start talking again. You don't even have to be in a relationship for them to do this. You take them back, you give them a few words, right? And you realize that they have absolutely no intention on doing what they promised. None. How many of you know that they love bomb you just to discard you again? This is especially true if you were the one who disappeared or left the narcissist. If you were the one fed up enough, that narcissist, I'm telling you, they're going to come back around just to discard you again. Say, I am lying. I wish I was lying. I'm up here. I'm not lying. What people are going to start saying, look, this is what happened. I gave the narcissist just a conversation. After you say even one sentence to that narcissist, watch they block your number. That's how petty they are. Listen, isn't that childish? Like, you're grown and this is what you're working with. It's crazy. All right. So I wanted to read a few comments from my Facebook page. And let's see. These are some good ones. So I asked, when you took the narcissist back, how long was it before the mask started to slip again, right? Listen, some people said 8 months, 2.5 months. Someone said 3 weeks. Now, here's the kicker. This lady said, Priscilla, she said 2 days later. Look, some of these masks, when you get a discard and then you start you're entertaining the narcissist again, and you finally realize what you're working with, look, and then you get fed up enough and then you leave, watch how that narcissist sets out to find you. First chance they get, they're going to discard you. They're going to show their colors. That mask is going to slip. This, oh my goodness, 2 days later that it happened to her. 2 days. Someone said instantly, less than 72 hours. I'm telling you, some of these people, they will deceive you, love bomb you, just to discard you again 72 hours later. Someone said 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Leanne said first time was 4 months. Then the second time a week. Third time a few weeks. Fourth time of 24 hours. Listen. That's horrible. This is horrible. But it just proves that there's so many people that are dealing with this type of abuse. with this type of and it is abuse, even though some of them, they do get physical, don't get me wrong, but abuse looks different with each person that they're involved with. So they might not be the ones hitting you, but they would hit someone else. They may not be the ones emotionally available to you, or they're already emotionally available. So let me pick a different situation. They may not be the ones cursing you out. Of course, on the job, they're not going to curse a lot of people out. But when you get home, that mask, that's all they do is curse you out or curse people and their family out. So they wear different types of masks with different people. So just because someone didn't do that to you, it doesn't mean that they didn't do that with anyone else. Okay. So look, this narcissist, a lot of times they want you back to tear you down. Let's talk about that. They will tear you down to the point where they will, this is calculated, by the way. They will triangulate you, meaning they will pit you between a new supply or their a family member, just something to cause discord. And the person that they're pitting you against is beneath you, meaning they're beneath you socially, they're beneath you academically, any way that they can be, they are beneath you. And of course, like I tell you before, I'm not concerned about, oh, we're all on the same level. No. There are people that are beneath you. There are people that cannot sit with you. There are people that cannot come where you're going. Okay, so this whole thing about everybody is friendly and we're all friends and equal. No, I'm sorry to have to break it to you right here on Wednesday, October 25th. No, everybody can't come. Everyone is not on your level. Everyone has not done the things that you have done. So they will triangulate you with someone who is trying to get on your level. Why? To break you down. Because now you're thinking, ooh, wait a minute. Why did this narcissist or this person, now he or she seeing her? We're not even on the same playing field. We're not even on the same tax bracket. Why? It is because they're trying to tear you. They're trying to kick you off this pedestal. Oh my goodness. This is so deep. I'm getting excited because you know what? Somebody has to talk about it. Someone has to, talk about what people are really going through. Yeah, that person is beneath you. Someone could be beneath you. Yes, that is correct. This is why we have teachers. This is why we have people that you learn from. We're not all equal. So, I understand people want to be nice and politically correct. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But in this game of life, this field of life, understand that we all have a role, right? We all have, remember we talked about on my other live about star stealing. Everybody has a star. Some people have more stars than others. This is biblical. Go back and look at my show called Star Stealing. It's under the free School of Revelation. All of this is free knowledge. Okay? We all have a star. Some stars are brighter. Some stars are some people have more. Think about the parable of the man with the talents in the Bible. They were given talents. What did some people do with their talent? Some people strategized. Some people were lazy. Some people knew what to do. Some people didn't, or just refused to. Yeah, we all are. There's different levels to this, and everybody cannot come. Period. So this is when you're dealing with narcissistic abuse. This is not just a toxic person. This is a spiritual battle. Everybody heard that? Everybody hear it? Yep. When you're dealing with this type of abuse, and it is abuse, Gaslighting, cheating, manipulation, that is abuse. Playing mind games and getting you out of your mind. Some people have gone crazy, literally. That is abuse. You don't have to be put up with it. And you know, if you're married to a narcissist, I want just ask the Father in heaven. Say, Father, did you create me before the foundations of the world to be with this lying, cheating narcissist? Did you do it? Did you create me to suffer and to be in this type of marriage? The pastor said, who God put together, Father God, did you put this together? Ask. Look, don't ask me. Ask the Father in heaven. I digress. Let me get back on topic. Okay. Listen, when King Balak tried to get Balaam to curse Israel, he couldn't do it. Now, I am doing a show coming up about being witchcraft proof, because, you know, on this channel, we don't just talk about narcissism, of course, right? You know, there's other topics and there's other things that I believe that believers should be aware of. So I will be doing a show called Becoming Witchcraft Proof. Now, with that being said, King Balak tried to get Balaam to curse Israel, but he could not do it. Why? Because there was no iniquity found in Israel. So iniquity is repeated sin. Repeated. It's a repeated offense. Repeat offender sin. Okay. So it's one thing to mess up, you miss the mark and you repent. Then when you start missing the mark as a habit, habitually, non-repentive, that's where you have iniquity. Okay. So there's a difference there. So there was no iniquity found in Israel, and a curse causeless cannot come, meaning there has to be some type of gateway or legal right for a curse to be active in someone's life. So Israel was doing what they needed to do. They were being obedient. They were doing the sacrifices that they need to at that time. They were, you know, doing all the ceremonies that they needed in Israel as a Hebrew people. That's what they needed to do. And they were doing all of that on point at that time. And that gave, in turn, when the king tried to put a curse on Israel, it had no effect. None whatsoever. It was like, okay, people throwing darts and you have some type of shield. So what did Balak do? What did the king do? He said, okay, since they can't, you know, I can't curse them, I'll get them to curse themselves. Well, how did he do that? How would he get a nation to curse themselves or to have an open door for this curse to come, which Balaam could not do? You want to know how he did it? He sent Israel women so they could commit sin, so they could fornicate, they could give legal access for the curse to come. Okay? Just from this scenario, we can conclude that a narcissist is sent from the demonic realm to get you to curse yourself. Think about it. Listen, this goes so deep. Think about it. What path were you on before you met the narcissist? What were some of you thinking? Where were you going? What path were you on? Were you a praying woman or man? Were you doing what you're supposed to do? You know, darts were coming, spiritual darts were coming, but they had no effect on you. What had to happen? You had to open the door to a narcissist who was going to get you to compromise your morals, who was going to get you to actually have an open door, which is iniquity, to get you to curse yourself, to bring in that evil in your life, to invite evil in your life. That is why you met that narcissist. It was to throw you off the path. A demonic dart was sent in your life in the shape of a narcissist. If you don't believe me, listen to this. And if your right hand causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to go into hell. That is in Matthew 30. So here we have the importance of cutting it off. Cut off what no longer serves you. If it's costing me my morals, cut it off. If it's costing me my ethics and making me change my viewpoint to something that is more on a demonic side, a worldly side, cut it off. If it's messing up my finances, cut it off. It is time to cut it off. Look at what our master, he said in Matthew, if your right hand, how many of you write with we do most of our things with our right hand. If your right hand causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away. And notice he used right hand because most people, of course, not all, most people, this is the hand that you need the most. Your working hand is the right hand. So look at the importance of cutting off your working hand, because it's better to cut off your hand than for your whole body to burn up in hell. That is the importance of cutting off what no longer serves you. Then right before that in 29, if your right eye causes you to stumble, gouge it out and throw it away. Your eye, gouge it out, throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than your whole body to be thrown in hell. Listen, your right hand, your right eye. If that is causing you to stumble, look, I'd rather throw it with a narcissist than cut my hand off. You got to go. You have to go. Bye. Goodbye. I don't want your letters. I don't want your teddy bears. I don't want your ring. I don't want your anything. You got to go. Get your stuff. Get the step in. Listen, look, I have to laugh because look. Oh my goodness, my master Yahushua HaMashiach. Help us, Father. He said if your right hand is causing you to sin or stumble, cut it off. Cut off this narcissist. Cut it off. Period, point blank. You're being deceived back into them. Yeah, write in the chat. Write in the chat. Let me see. You got to look. Let's go to the chat, see what's going on. Oh, goodness. I'm telling you. We have to just cut it off. You're being deceived and going back to hell. You've been to hell and you want to go back to it. Thinking it's not hot anymore. What? It's still hot. Trust me, it's still hot. Oh my goodness. Listen, I'm about to get up off of here. I had to come with this message because it's time. It's time. Don't look back. Don't be like Lot's wife. She turned into a pillar of salt when she looked back. You know what the significance of that is about the pillar of salt? Guess what? It's useless. Useless. It's a lump of earth just there for no reason. Useless. That's the significance of being a pillar of salt. A useless vessel. You don't want that. Our Messiah, he came so that we could have life and life more abundantly. He didn't come so we could be useless. All right. Oh, goodness, y'all. Oh, is the fan on? because I'm telling you, this is real. I want my hand. I want my right hand. I write with my right hand. I'd rather get rid of the narcissist. Period, point blank. All right. Well, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that everybody joined me tonight. And of course, I am streaming at the same time on Spotify. Thank you. Thank you. And I can't say thank you enough. Now, before you go, in the next few days, I will be releasing 2 workbooks that are along with When Satan Plays Matchmaker, Exploring the Spiritual Side of Narcissism. One is a workbook for men. Hello. Can we have a hand clap? One is a workbook for men, because guess what? It's underserved, right? You know, it's a prayer journal where a man can write down their thoughts. They can express and work through these prompts of writing, and they can get their thoughts together on paper. And of course, it is best used with the book. But of course, if you could always use the journal by itself. So one of them is just a regular workbook that goes with the book. We're saying Plays Matchmaker. And the other journal is a prayer journal for men. All right. So we have one regular prayer journal that is best used with the book. And then we have a separate one that is just for men. Okay. So look out for that. Make sure you give me a like, a thumbs up. Don't just watch. Come on, come back, y'all. And I just want to say thank you to everyone. And I love the fact that this channel is growing. Okay. I love the fact that this is growing and we're getting the word out there. And this is not the time to be sugarcoating anything. All right. So I love you all. And I thank you so much for listening. And thank you, Spotify, for hosting. And have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your week and weekend. I am so looking forward to this weekend. I'm going to finally get a chance to somewhat relax, because I have been working like, oh my goodness, working so hard on the journals. And then I had another project and some other things that I had to do. Listen, we're all going to keep each other prayed up. Okay. It's been a pleasure. And thank you so much for tuning in and listening to another show. Thank you. And remember, the Most High God, He loves you the very most. Bye.